I'm here. I'm here. Right. Sorry. I just want to apologize for yesterday. I both had a headache and also was super depressed. So yeah. I mean, there's not much else I can say about that. The interview slash holiday is kind of like it's been cancelled for good, and I mean, I don't know. My interview that I was supposed to go on before I went on holiday. Um, it's been cancelled. It's been postponed. They went with somebody else. It's not been postponed. It's over. Ugh. The holiday's been postponed, but that's over. So yeah. So I was dealing with that. Plus the reason is also kind of a bit bullshit, and it's kind of like whatever. So yesterday I was feeling kind of worthless and kind of like a piece of shit. And to be completely honest, I still kind of feel that way. So yeah. Um, but I'm okay. Otherwise, I'm okay. Otherwise, just I try to jump on the next thing, and until that thing comes up, yeah, just not to. I'm trying not to bum everybody out, but not to put a massive down on it, but it just does feel like I'm kind of waiting to die. It's great. It's a great feeling. It's awesome. Um, so yeah, it's been really hot as well, so that's been fun. Oh, today I did order um, the extra large clothing. I actually ordered the big clothing, a 10x t-shirt and a 10x sweatpants, and they both are stretchy. They're slightly stretchy fabric, so it's going to be like it can probably go further than 10x, but that'll be good for the padding videos and stuff. Um, or me if I get like super depressed, I guess. I just yeah, I was gonna order. I was gonna look for braces. That's the other thing. I did look. I did have a look for braces on the same websites that I ordered the clothing from. Oh, I also ordered myself some new pants because they had some good. They had some nice pants on that website. So I ordered myself some new pants, but I did that with my own money. So yeah. Um, I got a message back from the super, the the workwear clothing company that basically said that they don't know where I would have gotten my overalls from, and they don't know where my friend got them from, but they said that my friend, who doesn't exist, basically is he must have gotten them from some place that does custom tailoring or something, because they don't have anything in that size. They don't make anything in that size. So it's kind of like, oh, so that was fun. So those are dead ends, I think. I don't think I'm going to hear from the other company. I think that I basically emailed a robot, and that robot is never going to reply to me. So that's fun. Um, Yeah, what else? No, that's it. I was gonna check Amazon for braces because I don't know where else to look. Extra large braces don't really exist. You basically can just make braces, suspenders, whatever. You can just make them. All you need is basically just you can do it with string. It's not like it's that hard to do. The problem with with those is that they're not going to be super loose. They're not going to give. They're not going to have a lot of give because it's made out of string. So yeah, that's it. That's all the news. That's all the news. I don't really have anything. I mean, I saw a snake. We have a snake that lives in the garden. I think there's more than one snake, but David thinks it might just be one snake. So that was nice because it's nice to know that there's wildlife like that in my garden, which is sweet. It's a little grass snake. It won't hurt me. It won't hurt me. It's fucking scared of anything because every time I move to even when I'm taking a video of it, it basically slithers away really quickly. They can move really fast. I don't know how fast they can move, but they can move really fast. Snakes. Snakes. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to the county fair. That'd be nice. Probably, maybe. Um, it's always interesting to go round the stalls at the county fair. Uh, they have some good food sometimes, some good eye candy. There's some nice eye candy. Chunky older guys with overalls. You know, occasional Santa bears. Always good. Hey, Panda Fox. Hey, James. Um, so yeah, that would be nice this weekend, I guess. I'm I'm trying to figure out a way to basically like get away from everybody at the same time as doing the county fair. I think that the only way that I'm going to be, depressed and you know stay away from everybody is if I just don't go. But the problem with the just don't going part is that I kind of want to do the county fair. I know that would cheer me up a little bit, but at the same time, I don't want to socialize with anybody when I'm like this because I'm a bummer. I get it, and I'm either a bummer or it makes it sound like I just don't want to talk to anybody, which is true, but it makes it sound antisocial. Speaking of overalls, Elephant Mario, yeah, it's everywhere. I already know it's everywhere. I've not even been on social media, and I've been hit with it a lot. Um, so yeah, I mean the only social media that I checked is Grommer because I got messages, and it's all over Grommer already. It's kind of irritating because like everybody seems to be saying the same thing that Elephant Mario is kind of like he's got dad energy, and it's like Mario had dad energy anyway. Making him an elephant is just increasing the dad energy. Most elephants have, in the furryverse, most elephants have they're dads. They just are dads. They have that. They already have the dad energy with them. It's because they're big, intelligent, dominant creatures. You know, So put that in the furryverse where they have the ability to express this, and it's kind of like, yep, that's dad. That's just, they're all dads. You're so tired of Elephant Mario? I'm not tired of it. I just kind of like I feel like everybody else is late to the party. You know, pachyderms are hot. You know, that they just are. I don't know why there hasn't been more elephant art. You know, elephants and hippos and stuff. I don't get why there hasn't been more art, especially in the, you know, the fat furry community in particular. It's just like, yeah, it's just the thing. Elephant Mario. I did see somebody complaining that basically it's like, oh my god, they made the, you know, just because he was turned into an elephant doesn't mean they have to make him fat. It's like, Mario's fat. How does nobody get this? He is a stereotypical Italian plumber. He's chunky. His original models are chunky. You know, the original artwork for him was chunky guy. He's played by Bob Hoskins in the original movie. He was always fat, and also you just added his, you know, you made him into an elephant. Elephants are quite big. They're not fat, but they're quite big. So you just add his fat, you know, you upscale him and then add his fat to an elephant, and it's like, yeah, he's going to be a chunky elephant guy. It's not a big deal, guys. Why is it such a big deal? Why is this a thing? You know, it was kind of nice to watch this explode from the outside, I guess, because I haven't been on, like I said, I haven't been on social media, but I've already been hit by it. I can see it, you know, from the outside. I haven't interacted with any of it just yet because I've been doing research still. Um, so yeah, I think I have a good comic idea as well, which is cool for me. So, it wasn't yesterday. It's been around for like a couple of days, hasn't it? Hasn't it been around for a couple of days? Or am I just like in a time dilation field of depression? Yesterday? Really? So you're joining the bandwagon? No, I'm not. Not the Mario thing. I've come up with a good idea for the comic. I've been for the past couple of months. I've been researching old timey comic strips and postcards and stuff. You know, things that basically were in newspapers like 100 years ago, like these kind of comic strips that were just there. And yeah, they're interesting. They're, you know, because they're interesting, and B, they they seem to have a lot of like portly characters. And it was at a time when like fat men's clubs existed. It was at a time where basically like the good the good humor of like being large was around. You know, it was yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot that you can get from these kind of like, yeah. Oh, I just speaking of that, I just found I just read a comic, one of the comic strips of um, Tracks. Oh, what is it called? Terry and Tracks. One of these comic strips. Terry's a child, and Tracks is a parrot. It's about a kid and his parrot. But this child has an uncle, and he's a big fat guy. There's always at least one in these comic strips, right? There's always, and basically, like the dad and the uncle go on have an argument about um, vaccinations and sending the child to school unvaccinated, and it's like the whole discussion is kind of like super mirroring what happened during the beginning of the pandemic, and it's like, oh my god, how did they see this coming? And it's because this happened before. This happened before. So yeah. Tyrion tracks. What's the idea? It's a portal gun idea. There are enough old-timey comic strips. There are literally hundreds that I could basically insert my character into one of these comic strips. You know, say that he basically is trying to find his way back to the Furverse. Like Five or whoever is trying to find their way back to the Furverse. I might even create a new character, or it could just be Boldar. It might just be Boldar. I don't know yet. I haven't figured this out yet. But yeah, and that would give me an excuse to basically draw my characters in all these different old-timey comic book styles, and to try to mimic their styles as well, and to just play around with it, because there are so many. There's some artists do definitely have their own kind of style and everything with the comic books, but even when they do different comics, they do alter it slightly sometimes, except for one that's got this really ugly style, but it works with the big heads, like giant heads, and tiny bodies. You know, their proportions are off with the heads, only with the heads and the bodies, and they've got like the big eyes and everything, and it's kind of weird. It's just very weird in black and white comics. It's kind of gross, but it's interesting and funny at the same time, because I like the body shapes and proportions are perfectly proportioned to everything else, and they look right, but they've got the giant head. It just looks funny. Anyway, so yeah, that's the idea so far, but I need to formulate it some more. I like the idea of the old timey comics. Maybe even some modern ones. Throw that in every now and again. I don't know, but yeah. And we're talking about, like, things that are in newspapers, like Garfield and stuff. But before that was famous, this was like the original comics. So yeah, a lot of people are going to be incredibly kind of like turned off by this, because they will not know what comics I'm actually talking about or in, you know. But yeah, you literally, my idea so far is basically just like recreating the entire like strip, just one line, one row of the strip, which they usually are just one row, and then like popping in either in the background or in the as part of the story, whatever's happening in the thing, and then like him popping out again after figuring out that it's not like his dimension or something, whatever. Balloon blower Mike's taste. Yeah. I mean, he does like round, mustachioed, turn of the century gentlemen, and I don't blame him. They have good style, you know. I'm okay with them. Being fat took effort back then. Calories were much harder to come by. See, you say that, You say that, but ever since the 15th century or something, ever since the 15th century, it's basically been a thing of like it's not been hard to be fat. Yes, you might need to have had like a certain amount of money, but essentially all it is just access to food. It literally is just access to the food. There were during the 18th and 19th century, there were incredible amounts of chunky farmers, and these people were poor, but the men of the family at least used to be big. Or there would be like you get the stereotype of the fat baker and his wife, and they'd be like incredibly huge, and it would be a thing. It was like a weird stereotype. Even during Tudor times, this was a weird stereotype. This was a stereotype. It's access to food. It wasn't actually wealth, but you'd even have like even in these comic strips, a lot of the hitchhikers, the bums, the people that basically the vagrants, they don't have jobs or anything, the hobos, that's the word I'm looking for. Even the hobos, they're depicted as being kind of chunky and round, and it's basically, like I said, it's not really been a wealth thing in the past. Hell, you even had like there'd be weird stereotypes of the fat coal miners and stuff. It's just it literally is a case of food accessibility. It was literally a case of food accessibility, at least in the the European world, and in America, basically the Western world and stuff. It's always been about that. It's been in other cultures, like the Asian cultures or the Arab cultures. That's definitely been the case. It's definitely been the case of a wealth. It's a wealth thing. But the European cultures, it's just been a food accessibility thing. So yeah, it needs to be wealthy to be fat. Yeah, I've already said that. Yeah. I think I said the name right. What, Balloon Blow Mike? Yeah. I don't know how much he wants me to advertise this. I've met him. He's lovely. He's a lovely guy. He does really good stories. He does some okay AI work. It's like I kind of I both like and dislike his AI stuff at the same time. And it's not because of some snooty, oh, I'm an artist and it's taking away work from me and stuff like that. It's nothing like that. It's just that it looks stupid. I'm sorry, but computers just need to work on clothing better. They just need to figure out clothing. They need to figure it out, because they never get it right. It looks weird. I've even offered to do some kind of like touching up work on any of his like pictures and stuff, and I even did one for him. So yeah, it's just it's like I like the general idea, and my imagination can kind of like fill in the wrong parts that the AI did, but I don't like just looking at it at face value. It kind of it looks stupid. It doesn't look ugly. It looks dumb, and it's not his fault, and it's not the AI's fault. It just is just what it is. I'm sorry, but I mean, like he's on the arts, the fat guy art server on Discord, and you may notice that I only like some of the pictures that he does. So yeah, it looks less than ideal. Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, Don, I know I've already said this at the beginning, but I didn't know if you were here for that part. But I've ordered the clothing. Again, couldn't get a suit. Couldn't even find a place that These used to be like everywhere, but I couldn't even find a place. I'm probably just really stupid. I couldn't find a place that would do the cheap tailoring for a suit, because I was literally going to type in, they used to have these things online. I'll tell you what I've ordered first. A 10XL t-shirt and a 10XL, it's a stretchy t-shirt, and a 10XL sweatpants. And I've been looking for braces, for bigger braces, but I can't find any on the websites where I ordered these clothing from. I've also ordered myself some pants because they look good, and they looked they were elasticated and stuff. But I'm paying for that bit, so that's fine. Yeah, but yeah. So there used to be like tons of websites pre-pandemic where you could essentially tailor yourself. There used to be a couple of websites, because I was going to do this when I had enough money, but they've gone. There used to be a couple of websites where you basically would tailor it yourself. They would send you like the measurements that they need, and then you would send the numbers back, and then they basically would tailor the suit for you based on the measurements that you gave them. And some of the websites even came with like handy links to videos on how to measure yourself with the tape measuring stuff. And it was like, that sounds really cool. And at the time I didn't have enough money to do it, but I do remember it being like, it was a couple hundred pounds. And I was like, well, for a suit that would be ideal, but I don't have a couple £100 at the time. So yeah, I was looking for like the cheap ones of those, and they're gone. I can't find any. I cannot find any. But yeah, we could have gotten like a proper giant suit done like that. Like I could measure my chest and basically like add 10 inches, and then measure my belly, and then add like 20 inches or 30 inches or 40 inches if we want to make it a 100-inch suit, and then just do my arms and everything else regular, and I was like, oh, this is a brilliant idea. I'm gonna look for these websites. Can't find any anywhere. If you have found a good website, if you find any, let me know. Like, if anybody finds any, let me know. But yeah, so that's where I am anyway, Don. I couldn't find any good costume places. Every time I did, they didn't do custom tailoring. They wouldn't let you customize it. Otherwise, they would just sell you a ball suit, and it's like, why? I don't need the suit. I need the clothing to go on top of it. They'd send you an inflatable beach ball with armholes, and it's like, yeah, that's great for $500. It's like, oh. So yeah, there's all these like things, but ugh. By the way, I should mention this. If anybody does want to get into like the padding or costuming and stuff, and you want to be like, if you want a cheap fat suit, then yeah, get a beanbag chair. Like, look at the dimensions properly, depending on how big you want to be or go, and then yeah, just cut holes in it, and then you can actually put padding in it and everything. Your choice of padding. It could be trash bags filled with air. It could be actually beanies, which would be better. To give you the kind of like, not super heavyweight, but it will give you a sense of weight, and it will be a bit stronger than the beanbag or than the bags of air. Or you can actually just use stuffing, or like even a bunch of pillows or something. Just fill it up with stuff, and yeah, all of that will cost you less than $40. Unless you're going for the absolutely gigantic beanbag, which I'm going to get eventually. In which case, that thing alone can cost you like $80, depending on how big you want to get it. So yeah. So that's that. So that's that option. Or you can go the expensive route and get like an actual latex inflatable ball suit for $2,000, or around about $500 if you're basically just wanting like a vinyl beach ball suit, which is still fine. It's just that it's kind of, it's not the same. It doesn't give the same bounce as the latex. Although I wouldn't mind a beach ball suit, like a big blueberry beach ball suit. You can either get a blueberry version of it, or yeah. But I've seen people actually rolling around in those, and it's amazing. It looks amazing. It looks so much fun. So yeah, I was talking to Damon about this, and it was kind of like, I would like this, but it would never be practical with me because I live in a tiny house. I mean, we've seen the padding. It's basically it's incredibly impractical because all I can do is like stand in my office here, stand outside my office and waddle backwards and forwards through the garden, and I can't even do that because I'm incredibly overlooked by the neighbors. They seem to be out there every single time that I want to shoot anything. And my house is too tiny. Shooting it in the house is like I can only do like a little bit, like walking around the living room a tiny bit. So it's kind of that's kind of a bummer. I mean, it's great for conventions and stuff, but I can't afford to go to conventions. So yeah, it's kind of more depressing. So that's more depressing. So that's fun. I need a friend that's into padding that lives nearby. Um, it's essentially what I need. Well, actually, I need a friend that I can basically like live in his house, so I can have a bigger office, and then kind of like can use his house for like shooting the things that I want to shoot and stuff. But no, I got my buddy Dave, but I don't see him that often. You know, I kind of like I kind of tested the waters, like asking my buddy Dave if I basically could like move in, you know, how would that be okay, kind of thing. Just a couple of tests, and I get the distinct impression that basically like he'd be okay with it, but I'd feel really guilty because you know, whereas Damon is basically my life partner. He's my husband. I can get away with not paying like bills and food money every now and again when I don't have any money. Um, I feel incredibly guilty about doing that to Dave. And I think he would get annoyed at it if I did that. If I moved in with him, ate all the food, and then 1 month I couldn't pay for like rent or something, it would kind of be like, yeah, I'd feel like shit. I feel like shit when it happens here, you know, and it's like, but yeah, I need a rich friend that doesn't mind that. And has a pool. That's the ideal situation, you know. Ugh. Annoyingly, I've actually got like a couple of friends that would be totally okay with this arrangement and stuff, um, but they live on the other side of the planet. Is it Damon used to it? Well, no, Damon. Well, no, that's the problem. Damon is. Yeah, I don't want to say this because it sounds wrong. It sounds mean. Me and Damon are basically like married, so it's kind of like asking. Um, it's kind of like asking your housewife that has like she has a job, but it's like with the church, she doesn't really get paid. It's kind of like asking her to get to start paying rent. You know, that's kind of like I'm kind of the housewife that doesn't really have. I don't make a lot of money. I don't really make any money. It's just that like I do contribute though to like bills and to like food money and stuff like that. You know, I do contribute. So I'm taking him to Disneyland. You know, Disney World. Fuck, every time. So it's kind of like it. You know, it. Plus, he loves me, so it's kind of a thing. You know, there's a thing. It's a thing. So it's not that he's used to it. It's kind of like he's kind of got an obligation to tell me not to worry about it because he loves me. Even though, like I said, I feel like crap. I've got like a self worth issue. I'm kind of worthless, um, and I kind of hate that. You know, I hate that I don't contribute more and stuff to everybody all the time, forever. I just yeah, like my therapist keeps telling me that it's like it's I'm really irritating. Seriously, she hates me. She keeps telling me that I'm really irritating because I know that this is all in my head. I know that this is bullshit, but it's like doesn't make it those feelings any less real. I really do feel like worthless, and I really do feel like a piece of shit. And this never helps. You know, this whole not really feeling like I'm contributing to anything ever um, doesn't help. You know, so yeah, it's a whole thing. That's why I was super bummed about not being able to get that job. Wish I could be richer to have a second home over there. That'd be nice. SpongeBob old fish lines. Yep, that's me. I'm over here. What? I don't watch SpongeBob. It's too silly. I'm sorry. I'm too rational. I can't watch SpongeBob. I am actually too rational. They have boats and fire underwater, and they act all the time like they're not underwater, except for when it comes to one of my favorite characters who lives in a dome because she's a squirrel. Then it matters. I have no idea what most of those words mean, Panda Fox. I have no clue what those means. What those means? Yeah. Anyway, I've whined way too much. I've been whining way too much. I really do apologize for that. I don't know what that is. Yeah. That was a spot. That was a spot I just caught. Oh, that was painful. Bloating ideas. We need ideas for bloating week. I have got a couple of options for you guys, unless somebody brings me a better option. Basically, I filmed something before we leave tomorrow. I would film something now, but I'm going to go to bed fairly soonish. So if it's a liquid that I'm bloating with, I will be peeing forever. I don't want to wet the bed, basically. So I can't really do anything bloating wise right now. And if it's something that's like food or something, then I've got to stay up for 4 hours. Stop talking about sleep. Fuck off. So I was talking about sleep. That caused me to yawn because yeah, can't believe that. That's really obvious. Oof. It is on my preview screen anyway. There's a red dot there. That was a spot, and now it's just blood. It's blood and pain and uncoolness. Should probably not rub it. Yeah, it was bleeding. Yay. So yeah, it's either going to be something like I could do a liquid bloat tomorrow. These are the options. Sorry. I could do a liquid bloat tomorrow before I go because so the butthole spider's making a web on the computer. You know that spider that basically has been making webs on stuff on everything. It was on the computer. Well, it was coming down on the computer. Bastard. It's probably going to make a big web on my desk now to spite me. The ideas. Liquid bloat tomorrow before I go. If it's like a really hot day, then I could basically do kind of like a lemonade. It's hot, so I drink a lot of lemonade, or squash or something, because we don't actually have lemonade. That was kind of like an orange drink, lemonade, whatever, a juice and water drink, you know. So I could drink a lot of that for a hot, it's hot liquid bloat. Or when I'm away, I will have I will basically have I will be alone in a hotel room for a couple of nights maybe. So I could film something there with some other, with something fizzy, I guess. So yeah, I mean, like those are my ideas, but I'm looking for like better ideas. but I'm also not, because like I've been on for almost an hour and I'm getting tired. I'm kind of getting a bit frustrated as well. I kind of need to pee. But yeah. Out of curiosity, do you happen to meet a friend over mine from Newport News, VA? Where is VA? By the name of Chris. Wow, everybody's got. Why is it? Why are there so many Chris's? What Chris? You're gonna have to be a bit better than that. You don't know why there's so many people named Chris? It's because it's short for like 4 different names. So yeah. It's kind of like John is kind of like short for like 6 different names. Oh yeah. I know that, Chris. You got a big Mario shirt from him? I gave him a big Mario shirt. Yeah, I gave him a Mario shirt. I also gave him a picture. I drew him something when I was there. I met him once. It didn't seem like he was that interested. He seemed to basically think that I wasn't interested at all. I basically just I don't see how the logistics of like us being friends in person is ever going to work out that good. Like, he's a really nice guy. It's a real shame. It's just that like he kind of wants like a proper relationship, and it's like I don't know how that would work, because it would require me to move there. I don't see him moving here, you know. He sends his regards regardless. He's got, we're friends on Growler. He hasn't sent me a message in forever. I've not seen him live because he does a live show on Growler. Like I said, super nice guy. Really enjoy, I really enjoyed meeting him and everything. Just like, we need to build a relationship, and I don't see how logistically that would happen. You know, I think we're even Facebook friends. Yeah. God damn it. Hair. I got hair. It kind of feels like I breathed in a bit of spit, but I didn't do that. Internal sensors registered no spit near my back of my throat. So it must be a hair. What's with the shrugging? You're doing a lot of shrugging. He sends his regard regardless. Okay. Tell him he can talk to me. He's allowed. I did leave. I think I actually left that picture with Itchy. I left the. I sent him the digital version, and I left the actual physical copy with Itchy, and Itchy then moved to Nebraska. So yeah, but Itchy said that he was gonna like contact him and stuff, and I don't think Itchy did. But Itchy's not super reliable. Bless him. Okie doke. Sorry, I was trying to get the the hair to shift because it's still there, but it's not being that annoying. So yeah. Of course you do. Right, before I go, anybody want to ask me anything or say anything to me before I leave? Now is the chance. Now is your chance. Now is the time. I'm just going to quickly just see if I can search real fast on my Amazon, like extra large braces. Because then I could just get them from Amazon. Yep, they've got multiple braces here. Many different kinds. Including my ones. Nice. But they all look the same size. I typed in large braces, and these are all the ones that I've got, basically. You don't have as much selection as the US does. What are you talking about? It's on Amazon. But yeah, I basically have all of the ones that they, I have the version of braces that are on Amazon anyway. And I can just make them super, super loose. So yeah, braces, suspenders specifically, like in the US, I can buy suspenders that come in 4 different sizes. The UK Amazon has like very little in comparison. I don't see, apart from the leather ones that I've also got leather ones, and faux leather ones. My braces can be adjusted to be really big. So I just get an old pair that I've got, adjust it so that it's super loose, and then kind of like connect it to the giant pants that I'm going to get that are on their way. So yeah. But yeah, braces, kind of like suspenders, whatever. They kind of like they don't really come in different sizes because they are just preset to whatever they're just preset. I don't get it. We have lots of different designs. In fact, at the county fair that I'm going to, there's always this stall. There's a couple of stalls that basically have like a bunch of different design like belts, and when I looked closer, they're all the different designs of braces. Damon collects them. He's got like a collection of like hundreds. They're pretty big. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go then. Belly rubs, belly salute. Since I didn't get much feedback, I'm gonna probably do the bloating video when I'm away in the hotel room, probably. And yeah, I'll do the editing and stuff when I come back. But yeah, I'm sorry, Don. By the way, if you have any more ideas, let me know. But I've kind of hit a dead end when it comes to this. I am going to try to do more research before I leave for the fair. See if I can find like at least one website that does, the tailoring, the online tailoring thing, and I'm going to see what they say. I'm going to try. I'm going to spend most of tomorrow basically doing that. But yeah, it's probably going to be more than what you sent. So it's probably going to be more money than what you sent. So I'll see. I'll give you a quote. But I mean, like, I'm most likely going to just like split the difference and get it anyway. Toodles.